So, welcome back to Signal Live. We are live streaming today here with Algenis Liriano here, who's our AVP Commercial Loan Officer. And we are streaming live on LinkedIn Live, on Facebook, and on YouTube. So, for any of you that join us, feel free to let us know where you're joining us from in the comments. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions in the comments. But today we are here to spotlight Algenis. Algenis has a lot of information to share today, but he has some great stories to share about his journey here during his career journey with Signal. But also, we're going to talk about some banking innovation, financial education. He has a little bit of a demonstration to show us, so we look forward to that. And then just talk about work culture and wellness. We've gotten creative, and Genesis team just won the wellness challenge we just did. So we'll talk a little bit about what that looked like. But first and foremost, want to thank everyone for joining us and welcome you, Algenis, to LinkedIn Live. So thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Felipe, for having me. It's been quite a journey here in Signal Financials. I don't know if you guys want the extended version
You
or
know what?
the.
Go ahead. Because I mean,
All right, all right.
tell everybody how you
Yeah,
started your career, and start off with that, and tell us how you got to today. So go ahead and go
okay,
ahead.
okay. So, look, it started back after I graduated high school, which was in 2006. Uh, I didn't know, like most people. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't know. So I started my banking career in Chevy Chase Bank, and that was the summer of 2007. They had one of the best programs out, training programs out there, and at that time, Chevy Chase were letting go all the peak time tellers right shortly after. I think I got hired like in the beginning of the summer, and then at the end of the summer, they let me go. So shortly when they let me go, Giselle, which was a good friend of mine, she reached out to me and said, "Hey, Algenis, my job is hiring, and we would love to have you. So send me your resume immediately." I'm like, "Okay, where do you work?" And she's like, "At a credit union." I was like, "What the heck is a credit union?" I didn't know what a credit union was. I mean, like, I guess most people like, "Hey, what is a credit union?" When you first. So she, what she originally mentioned, she was like, "Hey, a credit union is similar to a bank, but we're not for profit." I was like, "Okay, cool, all right." So that's where I started. I started my career in Signal Financial on December of 2007 as a part-time teller. Signal Financial was short on staff, so they called me on my day off and asked me, "Hey, do you want to pick up some extra hour?" And I would say, "Yes." They will ask me, "Do you want to work Saturdays?" And I was like, "Of course, yes." So I became Mr. Yes Man, one of my many nicknames here at the credit unions. And I kind of think of it like, oh, it's like Les Brown would say. Les Brown, a motivational speaker, he would say, "I was young and I was hungry." So I was hungry, and I was like, "All right, yeah, like, any extra hours, yeah, throw it up, I'll pick it up." They offered me the full time teller position, and shortly after, well, they offered me the full time teller position, and I was really good at detecting fraud, and I was given the name Super Teller back in. So I was Mr. Super Teller, and in 2010, the head teller at that time, which was just Giselle that referred me in, they gave her opportunity to move internally, so I was promoted to the head teller. In 2011, there was an opportunity for me to move to a different department. Unfortunately, that opportunity was given to another employee. That was fine because that employee, uh, he decided to move to a different department. Well, he decided to go back to his previous department, and which was 2012, Stacy reached back out to me and offered me she offered me the loan operations specialist position, and I was like, of course, me being Mr. Yes Man, I was going to say yes. So I was promoted to a loan operations specialist, and in the business service department. I was there for 4 years, and due to caps issues and other and needs in other departments, I was laterally moved to the consumer side as a loan servicer. So after I moved to a loan servicer, I in 2018, no, I'm sorry, 2016, I left. I left and then I returned. I left and I returned, and I don't know if Felipe, do you want to touch up a little bit on
Yeah, go
before?
ahead. Share that story. Go ahead.
So, well, Felipe reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we would love to have you back." And I'm like, "All right, you want me to come back?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So I told him about, hey, how's everything, and how's the culture there. He's like, oh, everything's good, and of course, Felipe, he's always had, if anything I have to talk to, I'll go straight to Felipe. I'll be like, hey, Felipe, hey, what's up? What's your thought on this? And I guess you were the one that made me come back,
Oh,
and yeah. So thank you, Felipe. So okay, so going back to once I come back, I decided I was the what was I came back as a loan. Gosh, it's almost like a junior loan position. So I came in, and I've always expressed my interest. Even when I came back, I was going to be like, hey, I want to become a loan officer. I want to become a loan officer, and that was one of my biggest goal, to become a loan officer. And finally, um, I through some few years, I was offered the loan officer position. I was a man. Hold on, I forgot my position. So I at that time. Hold on, let me see. I had a nice little chart for you, but I'm not there. So I was a commercial lending manager. And so, as a commercial lending manager, aka junior lender, so I was given the lender position. And shortly after, not too long ago, earlier this year, I was promoted to AVP, commercial loan officer. So there goes my journey. Yeah.
well, that's an amazing journey, and I love the fact that you started off as a part-time teller and grew up and in the company and moved up, and he is definitely known as the yes man, and not just when he's looking for opportunities to grow. This man is somebody who, hey, Dennis, we want someone to volunteer for a community event. It's like, yes. Hey, Dennis, we need help with this project. Yes. He is just always willing. I mean, the epitome of a team player, and you really do it with a smile. And not only that, you get other people excited about stuff. I mean, the cherry blossom race. We've had more people attend the cherry blossom race that we do here in DC every year. It is a credit union race, and Algenis has gotten more people from Signal to attend that race than any previous person in history from our company. And it's because of just his energy, his passion, and he also participates in the race. He leads by example. We have the Kenston AK race. You could be joining us for that.
Yes, I will be running that one.
Sweet, sweet.
Yep.
So, going through your story, you definitely you hit a lot of opportunities as you grew, and I loved how you shared the fact that when someone else got that opportunity that you didn't get, it didn't demotivate you. You just kept on doing your job, and you figured, you know what, you'll wait for the next opportunity, and it worked out.
Mhm.
But talk to me a little bit about when you did leave us and you came back. What was it that made you want to come back, as far as the workplace and the culture compared to where you had gone to?
So where well, the culture, and and don't get me wrong, I love the culture at the previous job that I left, but I kind of felt a little different. It was it was more younger. It was more younger colleagues, but it was everybody was kind of to themselves except for like my department. And it was like, I was always eager to, like, hey, me, I'm a people person. I like to be like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, they're like, hey. I was like, okay, yep. As work as usual. So I was like, all right. But I kept it only on our department. And I'm still in communication with my former colleagues in my department. So we just had happy hour not too long ago, last month alone. So I still, but when I came back to Signal, I had it was I like to say it was more of a family feel. I came in on my first day and it was, welcome, welcome out, Janice. I was like, oh, they never had that. And I was just like, it was just all smiles. Me, I'm always with smiles, but I guess it was different this time. My dimples couldn't, I couldn't keep them away for 5 seconds. I was like so happy. I mean, like, it just, and you know how they say you want to be happy at where you work at, because that's where you spend most of your time. So I felt happy. I also, right before getting hired, Francois also sent me an email, be like, "Hey, welcome back." So it just felt, it it just felt warm all around. It was like a family greeting back. Hey, it kind of like I went to college and I came back. Like, hey, like I
So
never left.
would it be fair to say that the onboarding and bringing you back, was different when you came back in 2018 versus when you first started back in 2000? Was it seven?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So, as far as the culture itself, what do you think is unique about Signal's culture? What do you think makes it stand out?
What makes it stand out? Hmm. Besides like I guess the connection, the connection, the feel, the what else? Not having silos. It's just everything, I guess Signal, the culture here is a lot. I mean, like right now, it's like I'm speechless. I don't know.
Well, you said earlier, like family. I know you mentioned that earlier, and I think a lot of people sometimes might criticize, oh, work people aren't family. Well, when you work together so long and so many hours and for so many years, you
Correct.
get to build these relationships that sometimes are stronger than you have with your own family members. And so
Sure.
these friendships, these meaningful relationships, they make a difference when you come to work. I mean, you have fun and you get to work with colleagues. I know you and your team on the commercial team with Stacy and Martin and Addie and Robert, you all definitely have a lot of fun. You work very hard, no doubt. Sometimes harder than we want you to. We want you to take a break sometimes and make sure you take care of yourselves. But you all make sure you make time for fun. And we recently had a wellness challenge, and and this wellness challenge, just to give you a little bit of background around it, is we do quarterly wellness challenges. We encourage people to get into the habit of being more physically fit, mentally fit, even financially fit in some cases. And so what happened was is we had a challenge where we wanted everyone to do physical exercise challenge with push-ups, with squats, and with walking and running. And then you can get extra points in the challenge. And this is the part where it was could actually win $100 each if you won this challenge. And that was to create a team video of your team doing the challenge, demonstrating it, and giving some tips, but also being creative and fun. Algenesis team won the challenge. Their video was definitely extremely unique. And how would you describe the video? Because I have a hard time putting that into words. But how would you describe the video that you all did?
Hilarious. And I hands down, I guess Robert and Addie, they stole the show, and Martin and I, we were just there for the ride, but they stole the show, and they were, oh my god, it was hilarious.
Well, and what song you did it to the tequila song, right?
Tequila song, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and funny thing with that, we were gonna join a group with Alex, and Alex was like, "Hey, let's," he was trying to get everybody together, and it was great, but it was a max of 4 people, right?
Yep.
I believe it was a max of 4 people. We couldn't have more than four. So Alex kind of gave us the name. He was like, they were the taquileros, and they were going to be the bachateros, and there was some. So if we had more people in the team, it was going to be something else. But we kind of ventured off because we're like, hey, we'll stay, kind of stick to the business service. Will stick together, and and it was so funny. We were like, hey, the tequila, let's do the tequila song. I don't know if it was Martin's idea with the tequila song, I'm not sure, but it worked out. Rob, oh my God, if we could show that video again, or we,
I always
we
wanted to
could
show
send
a
the
clip of
link.
it here, and I wasn't able to get it ready. But some of the highlights of the video that I got to shout out was, I mean, you were creative because your video was from the you were like sleeping in bed, and from the moment you wake up, you start doing push-ups. Every time the song came on, it motivated you to get push-ups. And a lot of us that work out, we have our playlist of songs that are great songs to work out too. But Addie, I gotta give one of the highlights of Addie was when she was demonstrating all the exercises, the running, the push-ups, and the squats. The funny part about hers was when she went to do the running. I love how she was. You see her in the front talking about, hey, you know what? Instead of driving to the store, take a walk or go running for the store. And so she turns around, goes running, and she has a backpack, and inside the backpack is her little dog. And I was like, wait, the dog's in the backpack, and the dog definitely stole the show. That was hysterical.
Shout
Um,
out to Toby because he was there for the ride, and he's like, "Gosh, this lady, come on, mom, I don't. Do we have to run to the shop to the store?"
I mean,
And
he was on
he's
her
like,
back during the push-ups too. He was on her back for that. That was impressive.
So
Um,
yeah, that was impressive, and I like what Addie did. She incorporated like, hey, you can clean. I mean, although she did it in her nice little funny way, but and she had the cleaning outfit. We won't talk about that,
well,
but
you're right. You're right. I mean, like, if you're dusting and and you're going up and down, she was doing squats.
yes,
And that was great. I mean, you can incorporate it into everyday life instead of taking the whole separate half hour to work out. Do
right.
it while you do other things.
Cleaning up, or I mean, even when she was picking up, and then it's so funny with going back to Rob's video. Uh,
How do you describe Rob's video?
Rob was gosh, I forgot the character he was trying to imitate, but he had the he had like the Mexican character with the mustache, and he did it out in the field. He shout out to his wife because his wife had to record it, and they got rained on, and then they had to go back, run in the car, run back out, and oh my God, Rob was telling me, I was like, oh man, I think the true MVPs are the ones recording the videos. One, Addie's daughter, she was embarrassed. She's like, "Oh my God, mom, hurry up! A car's coming!" And then she's like running inside or ducking after she records. It was just so funny. But going back to Rob's video, he was the squats. He said, "Oh, you remembered?" He had the act. He had the full on accent. Remember when I was young? I was a young little boy. He's like, Mama was I did something wrong, and Mama would throw me the chancleta, and then he would squat. Oh, chancleta coming, squat, chancleta. Oh my God,
Uh,
hilarious.
it was absolutely awesome, and I mean, just everything from the accent with the energy and the demonstration, and it was just hysterical. I mean, it was like his own little skit, and so any of you that want to see any of those videos that we have done in the past for wellness challenges, we've had lip sync battles, we have cooking videos. Check out our Signal Careers page on YouTube. It's actually called Signal Careers Culture and Community. It's got the little orange logo. But if you hit the playlist and you go to Fun Fridays or to Signal Chefs, you'll see a lot of the videos that we do that just creates the culture and the engagement and things of that sort. So, Algenis, I know financial education is important to us. Obviously, we are always trying to provide financial literacy and education to our members, to kids coming out of high school and college, to adults that just maybe never had to deal with finances, someone else did. And so I know you're always sharing tips out there. I know we're building a foundation to help promote financial literacy as well and help out those out there that need it. But I think you had something to share about financial literacy that you wanted to talk about.
Yes, I did, and I would like to say sorry, Danita. I'm going to steal this from you. Did you know? So, did you know that all the dollar bills, which is AKA called Federal Reserve notes, did you know each of them had a clear thread in between that runs vertically? And each has a different color when you put it under ultraviolet light. So let me give you guys a demonstration, and I got a few domination. We don't they don't have it on the $1 bill or the $2 bill, but they do have it in the five, the 10, the 20s, and the 50s. So let me go ahead and see if it turns on. You got okay, yeah, it turns on. All right, all right. Let me see. I don't know if you guys let's change it right there. All right. So each of them have a certain color. So the $5 bill should be a blue. Let me see. No, no.
The other
Okay,
way. There you go.
right there. Do you see that the blue strip
Oh
right there?
yeah.
It
I
runs
never
down.
realized I thought they were all the same color. I thought it was just a strip.
Nope, nope. There's a strip, and then if you read down that strip, it should say US 5, US 5, US 5, US 5. And for the 10, it's yellow. I believe it's yellow. Yeah, it's like an orangey yellow. Why I keep moving this? There you go. All right, right there. All right. And I don't think you can really tell on that one. But let's see the 20. 20 should be right there. There's a strip. Green. And that's 50. 50 is a yellow. And then right here, these have the little indications, be like, hey, this is a 50, and that color should be to match that. And if you see it, it says US 50. And then the $100 bill should be a pink little strip, and that's going to be right here on this side. So just wanted to show you. Did
That's
you?
pretty awesome. You just schooled me today. I did not know about the different colors. You always see people checking it or doing the marker thing and all that stuff. But and it's funny. It seems like the higher the denomination, the brighter the strip is almost.
Actually, yeah, you noticed that, right? The 5 was like pretty slight, and then when you get to the 50, it was you could see it. Yeah.
And so why is that important for people?
So, when I was a teller, so I became, it gave me the nickname Super Teller. I was very fascinated of the dollar bills back in the days, and then all the security features and all the fraud features. So a lot of times, there was one time they will wash out this. I don't know how they did it, but they will wash this out and reprint it as a different denomination. So guess what? The marker it will pass the marker test, but it's printed with a different denomination on the bill. So if you don't do technically your due diligence, and you don't know which one you just got fraud. so so that's basically a little educate, nice little education that I used to be fascinated with. That I was like, hey, look at this, and then I was like, what else can you see in the ultraviolet light? So also on the credit cards or Visa cards, they have the emblem. Let me see if I'm gonna block my card half. Let me see if I can see it first. But you could see the actual V. Let me see. I'll block my number, so but you'll see the V. You see that the V on top of the Visa?
That's pretty cool. Absolutely, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
I never knew that either. That's amazing. So, well,
So things
I can
that
see why they called you the super teller. I mean, there's no question about it. Not only did you do a good job, but you were just passionate about it. You wanted to learn
yeah,
and understand, and I think that's awesome. And obviously, that's helped you in your career. That desire to seek to understand and to learn and grow. So,
yeah,
kudos to you on that. Thank you for showing that because look, I learned a lot. Hopefully, people out there are learning why those things happen. Because I think a lot of times people wonder, are they think I'm have fake money? No, they're doing their due diligence, like you said, to make sure. And clearly, it's a good thing to have because it helps protect us from fraud.
yeah, that's true.
So, and just as a reminder for any of you watching, feel free to ask questions in the chat or comments about Algenis or anything he's shared so far. So, Signal over the last few years, I feel over the last 5 years has gotten very innovative with things.
Yeah.
We talked about our new branch model that I always say looks like Starbucks and the Apple Store had a baby. And so, if you walk into like our City Center branch or one Loudon branch, you'll see a very, very different feel and look, and it's very innovative. But what are some things that you think have been innovative in your eyes that Signal's done?
So definitely the mobile branch has been is one of the one of the top innovation that I've like I didn't I wouldn't think that we took it a step ahead, forward thinking, and I honestly didn't see a branch on wheels. If that's kind of how you see it. You picture it as a branch, is a mobile branch on wheels, and we can go to you. And I love that. I love, and also the new Glia. We had to kind of have a blackout date on a Saturday, which was my daughter's birthday that day, and I had to work a little bit. So we were before we rolled out, and which is a great system to have. As soon as you log in on online, you're able to do the chat. They're able to kind of like we can see what you're seeing and then kind of help you. Digital service, they're there helping all of our members. And what else? There's I
Well,
think those.
going back to the Glia thing, I think that's something that it's amazing how many financial institutions don't have this option of the chat function. So, for those of you that are trying to understand what we're talking about, when you go to a website and you see the little chat bubble at the bottom right hand corner, it says "click here to chat with somebody." If you go to our website, you have the ability to not only chat with a human being. You don't get a robot response. You can also do a video call with our DMS team, our digital member support team. You can share your screen with them if you want to. You can co-browse. So, or you can just talk audio or via text. So it gives you the option to do what you're the most comfortable with. And I love that innovation. And I was actually shocked at how many large financial institutions don't even have this option. Um,
Yeah.
but going back to the mobile branch, when you talked about that, it's definitely a branch on wheels. But there's so much more that I think people don't realize what it offers. Besides building an amazing billboard for us, I mean, how would you describe the outside of the branch, the wrap that it has?
The rap that it is, it's what's your obsession? Pretty much, what's your obsession? Our obsession happens to be finance.
Financials.
Yeah. So one side is the green side. I call it the green side and the pink side. So the green side, it's a guy, and it's so funny because earlier we were on the phone with one of the attorneys, and he, uh, one of our colleagues had the green side. Saeed had the green side back
Yep.
there, and then the attorney said, "Hey, who's that guy back there?" We're like, I don't know.
He's some
Like
model
it's
that came with a truck.
he just came with the truck and the whole marketing campaign. So I guess it's a guy. He's like, "What's your obsession?" And he has plants, green plants all over the place. So his obsession happens to be plants, or greenery, anything that's green. And then the other side, it's a lady with is she holding a shopping or with the dog? Is she
She has a dog in the shopping bag.
with the
Yeah, yeah.
dog in the shopping bag, and it's all pink. Her obsession has to be pink and or shopping. So, it's just it's nice. it's for the
It
most
stands out. It definitely
it
stands
stands
out.
out. For
It's
the most part,
bright.
really
It's very,
colorful.
very bright.
Yeah.
Um, you know, as far as just as a reminder for those people that if they see the truck, one thing that's great about it is when I hear, "Oh, we saw the Signal truck driving by." But I think what people are always surprised about is inside the truck they assume it's an office because on the outside we got an ATM, we have a monitor and TV, we can open accounts, we can do instant issue debit cards, we can print out loan checks on the check printer. But on the inside, how would you describe the inside? Because I know we've gamified financial education, but what does it look like to you?
The inside looks like a game show. Game show looks like a game show with you walk in with a little podium. There's a podium in the middle and a projector. But and it's just basically, there is a interesting game in there, and that game, you answer a few questions, and based on those questions, they will give you will categorize you as guess
You get
what
different avatars depending on
different avatars or what kind of saver you are. And so that it's just it's really cool. And then if you need us to contact you back, or you have to put in your email, and of course we'll reach out to you, and and
And that's great.
basically.
And that's great. 'Cause it provides you financial tips. It lets you, like I said, recaps how you do your spending. I think some of the avatars are like financial wizard or a cautious time clock. And it allows you to know, okay, I'm a little more conservative, or I'm a little more, um, risky. But so I think the mobile branch definitely is a lot of innovation.
Mhm.
So I want to ask a question because I think you were here during the transition of this. Signal rebranded. A few years, like over 10 years ago, and they changed their
Mhm.
name. We used to be the Washington Telephone Federal Credit Union, right? For all the telephone workers out there before cell phones.
Mhm.
And for those who don't know, our logo for the Washington Telephone Federal Credit Union, how did it read, Algenis?
Do you want to give me the acronym was WTFCU?
So WTF Credit Union. Yeah. So were you here during the transition when they rebranded to Signal?
I was in the yes, I was like right in the process of like I think when they hired as soon as they hired me, I think they were already transitioning to the Signal.
Okay.
But I believe it was still there was a lot of there was still had the deposit slips that said WTFCU at the top, and it's so funny WTF.
And instead, and unfortunately, the logo, we still own the name. The logo's in our lobby. It's part of our history. It's where we came from. So we're not going to dismiss it. But every time I walk into our lobby and I see our old logo, the WTF is capitalized, and then the credit unions in small letters. Again, they didn't know. I mean, it was just for Washington Telephone Federal telephone workers. So, um, I think what's funny. I found out was Dinita, who was our last LinkedIn Live guest, and you mentioned her earlier because you stole the did you know thing from her.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
she she was going through some stuff at home. Now, Dinita, for those you don't know, has been with us for I think 38 years now, and so she is somebody who definitely has grown up with the company. I think she started when she was 5. But she came in the other day and she handed me a handful of papers. I'm like, what is this? And she's like, I was cleaning out my house and I found this box. And it was all these old newsletters and all these old banking slips with the old logo. And what I found interesting is, do you know what the name of the newsletter was for Signal when it was Washington Telephone Federal?
I
The
didn't
name
know
of the
that.
newsletter was called Signal.
Oh, really?
I know. I was like shocked. I'm like, that's like, well, clearly the name has been around, but yeah, the newsletter was called
That's
Signal.
cool.
And
That's
so
cool.
it was pretty cool to see that and to find out that there was a little bit of history in there. So thank you, Danita, for sharing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little post and share some pictures of that because I think it's neat to see some of the old paper receipts. We've gone so paperless now, but it's neat to
Mhm.
see what we've done in the past. So um,
Wow. Something I didn't know.
So I'll just, what else would you want people to know about? Well, actually, tell a little bit about yourself. Yourself, your family, and
Okay.
a little bit of history about you.
All right. So my family. Let's start with my family. Both of my parents are from Dominican Republic. They've been. My mom came here when she was 9. She was she stud. Well, what can I say about my mom? I love my mom to death. She does all my hard work and all my I guess my working ethic. I got that from my mother, and she has taught me a lot. And she's an entrepreneur, and she continues to show me things. And she helps me every day, just with her strength. Just yeah. My dad. He's an interesting character. So let's we'll just skip that. He's always been there, but it's just that he's more into himself. My wife, I met my wife in middle school. we
Wow.
dated. We dated in middle school, and then in high school, we we it was yeah, we haven't broken up since high school, freshman year. So yeah, so that was my middle school crush, high school sweetheart. We've been together for more than half my life. We have two beautiful kids. My son Fabian, my daughter Ella, and good thing that they started school because yeah, they were driving me crazy.
Well, it's been a pleasure to watch you grow professionally, but even personally. I mean, through getting married, through your first kid, your second kid. It's neat to see that, and for you to share that with everyone at work. I know people get excited when we have our family, our external family grow. So it's always fun to do that, and at the end of the day, I think that adds to the culture. I think knowing about each other's families and having fun. I know when we do our Signal event nights, people bring their kids and families in, and your kids have been on it as well sometimes by choice or not by choice, but it's always fun, and we always keep it PG, to make sure because you never know. But I want to thank you, Algenis, for just taking time to spend time with today, just to share about financial education, share your wonderful career story, and about your family, and about the innovation at Signal. You really are somebody who I truly appreciate everything you've done. The spotlight is for you because every day you come in with a smile. You are always, like I said, you always say yes, and you're always willing to help out, and you do it in a good way. And I love is that people don't take advantage of that. I think people just appreciate that you're passionate, and that comes across every day. So I know I'm very grateful and appreciative for everything you do at Signal, and to help the company grow, the culture, and the members. I mean, your team. How would you describe your commercial? Let's look on this. How would you describe your commercial team? What's the best way?
My best way to describe my commercial team is, I would say we're fun, crazy, hardworking. Fun, crazy, hardworking.
That's I think well said. If you all want to see one of the crazy and fun part of it, check out one of our Signal Chef videos where they did a cooking demonstration as a team in our Signal kitchen.
Thank
So
God
that
for
was
Martin.
actually what was that?
I said, thank God for Martin because I can't cook.
Yes, Martin is a great cook and a great mixologist. But y'all had fun. Y'all were in your football jerseys, for each of your teams. But it was amazing to see not only you'll have fun, but you saw the teamwork when you all were working together cooking. Whether you knew how to cook or not, you all definitely demonstrated that. So I think that was great. But I definitely want to say again, thank you to everything you do for the company and for everyone, all the employees and your team. I mean, Stacy, Martin, Addie, and Robert, and you all have. For those who don't know, their commercial department is probably twice the size of any financial institution our size. Most financial institutions our size might not have a commercial department, or it's very small. Theirs is probably twice the size and do twice the business of a lot of the other credit unions and banks our size. So kudos to you for just doing an amazing job and helping people out there, especially for small business owners or large business owners. I know you all helped out a lot of people during the pandemic. So kudos to your team for doing that so well. Um, any shout outs you want to give to anybody before we wrap up?
Well, since we're talking about my team, I want to give a shout out to my team. We got Stacy Westbrook, Martin Yescas, Addie Day, and Robert Penaloza. I mean, Robert and Addie and Stacy right now just finished closing one of my deals.
Oh, the
Yeah,
hotel deal?
no, it's actually not the hotel deal. It's the a $1 million deal in eight. It's a eight in H Street, Washington D.C. They
Nice.
three, yeah, three. There's a hot yoga. There's a soda. So you guys want hot yoga? Go to H Street.
There you go.
I told him I'll give him a free little advertisement. I was like, I'll give you a little shout out. So shout out to my client that just closed today. So I guess everything went well and smooth. Thank for Addie had a little a squeal moment. She yelled like because she sent an email prior with the wrong amount, and she's like And I was like, "What was that?" And even Bill came out was like, "What was that?" So it was just it was too funny. But then we're here. We're like, "Hey, no, it's all good." So everything was smooth. So thank you to Addie, thank you Robert, thank you Stacy, thank you Felipe. Again, I wouldn't be here. Back in Signal if it wasn't for you. We had that nice discussion, conversation, and you brought me back. So thank you,
Well,
Felipe, and thank you for like these live events. I know it's a lot of work, and just. I mean, you're doing it live half of the time. I'm like, I go off like, oh, did I say that right? Did I say that wrong? But you do it pretty good. So that's really that's awesome. I also want to give a shout out to the whole Signal Financial family. So, thank you guys. I know the pandemic was hard, and we all stuck together. So,
yeah, I totally agree. That during the pandemic, everything from our CEO Francois Verlason to the leadership to all the employees, everyone came together and we looked out for each other like a family. I mean, even at nights, calling each other, checking on each other. It definitely, I think, made us stronger and brought us together. And now that we're going through some conversions and some changes, and we have some exciting new changes coming up with our cards and debit cards and credit cards. So keep an eye out for some exciting things happening in October. Our next guest, do you know who our next guest is going to be on LinkedIn Live?
ooh.
Francois Verlason, our CEO. So all those people out there on LinkedIn always wonder, how do you get a CEO on LinkedIn Live? Well, we'll share some tips on why he thought it was important to be on LinkedIn Live and share some of these tips from a CEO perspective. So, and as Jonas knows, with Francois, you never know what you're going to get when you put him on live TV. So live stream with Francois is going to be very entertaining, I think, to say the least.
Do you guys have sensors?
I think we might have. Maybe we should pre-record it. No, he actually, he will definitely become, I think, very entertaining. And again, his intelligence and forward thinking and innovation ideas really has gotten us to where we are today. So kudos to him for all that, and just for all the people at Signal that really adopt, the philosophy, the core values, the mission, the vision, and the culture. I can't stress enough. The culture is not driven by one person; it's driven by everyone, and everyone keeps it alive. People like you. So, Algenis, thank you again for this, and thank you all for joining us. Feel free to put comments in the replay. If you watch the replay, we'll be happy to respond back to you, especially if you have any questions about career opportunities or about his financial education on those dollar bills. That was a nice little touch. And oh wait, I almost forgot. Let's talk about your opening that you have in your department.
Yes.
So you have an opening for a loan administrator. Can you share a little bit about what somebody would experience if they joined your team?
So, someone, you want to share? You want me to share that what they will be doing,
A
or
little bit about what they would do, but also about and then what they could expect about working with your team. Should they expect to be just kind of working independently, or is it more of a team environment?
it will definitely be a team environment, and we will all chip in to kind of help you. I guess just you won't feel alone. At any stage of the game, you won't feel alone. If you need help, we will be there. So we do have the loan administrator, and we also have the underwriting position.
Yep.
So if please, guys, we will take care of you. We will have your back.
So, and if you watching, if you have interest in joining Algenis and Stacy and Martins and Roberts and Eddie's amazing commercial team, they have two openings right now for a commercial loan administrator and an AVP commercial underwriter. So feel free to apply. Just go to signalfinancialfcu.org/careers and you can see the opportunities there. And thank you again for everyone that watched and joined us today. And Al, thank you again for just being here and just for everything you do. You are a godsend as far as helping out and being a team player, but you just the business you do for us and the membership relationships you maintain are amazing. So thank you
Thank you.
very much for that, and thank you for joining us today. So everyone, we appreciate your time and hope you all have a great day. And check out Signal. Bye, everyone.
Bye.